Movement. I've always been a movement-based person. And I was always told, sit still, sit still. And in 1993, when I qualified, funny enough, I just stepped out, and the first sort of meeting that I go to was a talk that the ed department said you must go to, and I was at a special needs school, and Carla Hunneford was giving the talk. At the time, I didn't realize it was actually Carla Hunneford, who wrote Smart Moves, who qualifies what brain gym is all about, because she says movement is she actually says, you can help me with this. She says, it's not, movement is not all in the head.
Yeah.
That was powerful for me.
Yes. So we're not just clever because we've got a head, it's the movements. Yeah.
Yes. No, sorry, she says learning is, no, we need to start again.
Learning is not all in your head. There we go.
That's the one. Learning is not all in your head. And up till that time, it was the premise that you learn, and you know how clever are you, how smart are you, the IQ was the thing that everyone
yes, that was on everybody's lips.
Yes.
They were all like, this is the thing.
So I just qualified as an occupational therapist. So for me, movement was, a functional way of engaging is the cornerstone, the motto of the whole thing.
There we go.
So having this as well, I thought, wow, this is interesting. And then the journey went on from there. And when I moved to Johannesburg in 2000, again I got introduced to Brain Gym. I was at a preschool, and Brain Gym came up again. And again, its movement is the basis of all learning. And it was a marriage of a union between two awarenesses. So it was the occupational therapy awareness and the awareness that Paul Dennison brought. And I remember when I went on these courses, I was actually reduced to tears when I said, this man is actually a modern day guru. And that's the term I coined for my dear Paul E. Dennison. I used to call him. I've got so much of respect for him because, there's so much of knowledge that he brings from so many different faculties, from psychology, from physiology, from kinesiology, proper allied kinesiology, applied kinesiology, biology. It's so vast. And having done psych majors, and having done biology, and having done physiology, and having done occupational therapy, which is the study of activity where we break it down into components in an activity. What's the structuring? What's the presentation? What's the activity requirements? What's the precautions? What's the contraindications? By us super analyzing per activity, and in conjunction with what Paul Dennison does with these amazing 26 exercises, it's like, I thought, wow. And what's the chances of it being 26 alphabets in the letter, in a 26 alphabet?
Oh my gosh, yes,
letters
exactly.
In the alphabet, and there's 26 exercises. That occurred to me straight away. And when I went on this, I just literally went on a binge. I ate, slept, and drank Brain Gym. For the next couple of years, all I did was attend every single course, and there was no alternative. And I finished, and I said, I'm going to become a trainer, and I had the awareness that this needs to be it needs to go out there, and needs to be in the education field as well as in the healthcare fields, because we are people that comprise of different dimensions, and we have we know that there's a biopsychosocial being that we are. When you do the medical model that is followed, we are a biopsychosocial being, and here's biopsychosocial and emotional. So it's all there. That is the whole being. And why I did occupational therapy was because it was a holistic subject. Brain Gym is holistic. To me, we're actually born geniuses, and we actually three-dimensional in nature.
Yes.
However, school takes us and assumes we are blank slate, 2D, may I say?
Yes.
And that you need to then read 2D, which is not honoring
that system.
the system, this complex, amazing system that we call our
goodness,
body.
yes.
It's not actually at all embracing who we truly are, and honoring the creativity and honoring the level of creativity and mastery that exists in the human form. And the only way to honor it is actually, funny enough, it's actually we have to learn from nature, because the universe is full of examples. If you just look at the animal kingdom or the flower kingdom, seasons, there's a time and a place for everything.
Yes.
There's an emotion and a mood to everything. You know, that's not in nature. If you look at a newborn and a mum, so for everything there's a flow in life. So there's a frequency, there's a creative frequency that's happening around us. You know, creativity, and it's ups and downs. Yes, we have summer, but we also have winter. You know,
Yes, we do.
so everything is about contrasts. And today, Sonia, what I want to highlight is the contrasts that exists in the world.
Exactly.
If we embrace the fact that there is contrasts in everything, then we understand why we have the need for balance. We need to balance out the highs with the lows, the ups with the downs, the not so good times. The not so good times, should I say, will help us to be elated, super elated when we do have a special moment in our lives. So life is to be enjoyed. So they say that unless you experience something from a space of joy, you are not ready to serve in the community.
Sure, that's interesting.
Because we're meant to be joyful beings. I mean, God wants us,
regardless of what's happening, we are. Without
Regardless
being
of
denial of it,
yes,
He
not
wants
being in
us to be
denial.
joyful. Yes.
Absolutely. So funny you say that, Sonia, because what's coming to mind for me is the lotus flower. And in our culture, or just the lotus flower, what does it symbolize? Not just, it's in the Eastern culture, because I know the Buddhists, and it's just, but anyone is aware of that, is that the lotus flower is a flower that grows in very murky, dark waters. Yet when it opens up, it's clear and it's pristine, beautiful and untainted. And that's how we're supposed to be. That is actually like an idiom of, basically an example, a metaphor.
A metaphor is
a
nice
metaphor
way of saying it,
is the word I was looking for, is a metaphor of how we ought to be living our lives. That regardless of what's going on around you, the choice, we are born with free will and choice. And if we engage in all aspects of our life, making choices that are beneficial for us and for all the world,
exactly,
we are aligning with the higher creative frequency that the universe intends us to vibrate from, because we all are vibrational, energetic beings.
That's right. Yes, it's physiologically and scientifically, it's there.
It's there. It's scientifically there. We all know we get electrostatic happenings when we, in winter, with the jersey, when we put it on or off.
Exactly, and especially
so
in
those that are skeptic, exactly, it's science. It's absolute science.